Hashtag move. I just wanna do my thing. Fly like a chicken wing. Drip down in crystal pink. Family over everything. And that shit will never change. Yeah, the world is my stage. Ain't like you, I'm self-made. Hashtag move. I just wanna do my thing. Fly like a chicken wing. Drip down in crystal pink. Family over everything.
Hey, it's your girl Twan. What up, what up, what up? Hey. Alright, so if you are new to my channel, hello and welcome. I am Twan the Mystik, okay? And I am a rapper, I'm a tarot reader, I'm an artist, an interior designer, okay? And I have a business called House Mystik. And on House Mystik, I sell spiritual art, spiritual decor, spiritual baths, crystals, sage, all types of spiritual stuff, okay? And I also have my tarot readings and astrology readings on there as well. So if those are some things that interest you, make sure you go to housemystik.com and treat yourself, okay? So yeah, let's get into your reading. Well, actually, before we get into your reading, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you hit that like button, and also make sure you hit that notification bell so you're updated every time I drop something new, okay? So yeah, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Okay, so this is your July 2020 reading. So let's see what big things will be occurring for you during July 2020, okay? And this is split into you know, the water signs, the air signs, the fire signs, and the earth signs, okay? And just so you know, when you're watching this, make sure you check for your sun, moon, rising, Venus, and Mercury sign as well. So you don't have to just stick to the earth signs if you're an earth sign, or just stick to the water signs if you're a water sign. You can check out all the elements that are in your chart, okay? So without further ado, let's get to your reading. Okay, so this is for my beautiful, lovely fire signs, okay? Sun, moon, rising, Venus, or Mercury in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, okay? So let's go ahead and get into your reading, all right? And if you're seeing all this smoke, this is my incense, because I know I always have it burning my videos, and people are probably like, what is that? Like all that smoke shit. I don't know if y'all can see it, but let's go ahead and get into your reading. All right, your cards are very interesting, fire signs, because some of the stuff I see here is stuff that you already had in your reading from last month, I noticed here. So let's go ahead and get into your reading. So first of all, we have nothing is yet set in stone, mutable moon, and right next to it is your dreams need a practical plan, full moon in Taurus. Okay. So I feel like during July, I think you will be making some changes, and I'm wondering if it's because, you know, last month we had Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde started on the 18th, on June 18th, and with that popping up last month, I think there were some changes that needed to be made when it comes to your plans. Like maybe you were doing something a certain way and you were like needing to make some changes, or maybe there's something that happened that caused changes in your plans, or I just feel like something happened, or there's something that you realized that made you feel like, okay, I have to make some changes to my plans, because maybe you're realizing like, dang, I'm working a little too hard. Look, I'm my timer, I just want to make sure I pay attention to it. But maybe you're realizing like you're working too hard, you're doing too much, or just whatever you were doing maybe wasn't working for you, or there just needs to be adjustments with what you were doing, okay? But the fact that it says nothing is yet in stone, I do think Spirit is wanting you to be a little more flexible. But with this this full moon in Taurus card, Taurus is a very solid card. So I think is that you need to stay focused on the goals at hand, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. But just know that there are some changes that will need to be made to make things work for you, or to make things, yeah, just to make things work out. Because I just think there's something that you were doing that maybe it's just like, okay, I need to switch it up a bit, okay? Maybe something that has to do with your finances, like maybe making some changes to your career, making changes to how you spend your money. Maybe you becoming a lot more disciplined with your money. Maybe just something in the earthly realms. And you know, Taurus has to do with money, so I do think something with your career, business, or something like that. There's some changes that need to be made in order to make it more solid. Okay, so we also got, don't let your pride get in the way. Don't let your pride get in the way. And we have the answers you need are coming. I don't know if y'all can even see these cards, but with the answers you need are coming, and don't let pride get in the way. With these two cards coming up, it also makes me wonder if, like, with these changes that are needing to be made, like it could be pride. It could even be pride. Like maybe you need to realize, like, dang, I do need some help. Because I do think you're someone, like, fire signs can be very independent. Like, or if you have a lot of fire in your chart, you're probably someone that's very independent. Maybe you'd like to do a lot of things by yourself. You don't like to rely on other people to get things done. But I do think this month you're gonna start realizing, like, okay, I need a little more help with executing certain plans. And yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to communicate, like, look, I need more help. Like, someone please help me. Or reach out to people to, like, collaborate with them. Then talk with people more, networking more. And I mean, you don't necessarily have to go out because, you know, we got all this stuff going on, as you may know. But I do think even connecting with people on the internet could be very, very powerful for you. Oh, wow. The next card we have here, expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. So we do have this full moon eclipse that's coming up on the 5th. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be posting this video on that day or the day before. It probably is going to be on that day. Okay, so so anywho, with this coming up, the eclipse card and the eclipse actually coming up in the sign of Capricorn, I do think there will be some big changes surrounding your career. And you know, I was just talking about that with, maybe there's some changes that need to be made surrounding your career, finances, business, because maybe you're realizing you're overworking yourself, or maybe you're realizing, like, dang, I don't know what I'm doing, or dang, I feel like there's more stuff I need to learn in order to get to the next level, or like realizing you need to network more, talk to people more, something around surrounding those things. I do think those are the changes that will be coming for you, like surrounding your career. And I also do think spirituality is a big thing for you too, because we got meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. So there could be a Pisces in your life, a Pisces that, or someone with Pisces energy in their chart that you could be working with during June. Why I keep thinking June, July. Someone with Pisces energy will be helping you out during July. But I also think it's you deciding to be like, okay, I need more help. And maybe the help that you're realizing you need is more spiritual guidance. Like maybe you're going to be like getting deeper into certain spiritual subjects because you're realizing how much spirituality really does empower you. And I'm sure you're a spiritual person. I have a feeling that you are a very spiritual person, but maybe you weren't always taking the time for your spiritual practices. Maybe because you had to work. Maybe you had to do, deal with stuff with kids, deal with stuff with your relationship, deal with stuff with school. I don't know, whatever the thing is for you. But I do think you're going to start realizing like, okay, I really, really need to make time for spirituality because that's what empowers me. That's what strengthens. same thing. But maybe it's like it gives you more motivation to move forward. Like you connecting with spirit makes you realize like, you know what, I am strong, I can do this, I can push forward, I can continue with my life. Because if you had like you experienced certain things that did make you have to change your plans, because you know what I was talking about with the mutable moon, like you have experienced certain things that made you change your plans or kind of made you have like a setback where you felt like you were pushing forward and then you took like 3 steps back. I think getting more in tune with your, you know, with spirituality, doing your spiritual practices, it'll empower you and help you not to budge, which makes me think of the Taurus card as well. Like you getting into with your spirituality, I think will definitely make you a lot stronger. So whatever has happened or maybe will happen at the beginning of July, I keep wanting to say June, so maybe this thing that happened in June and it kind of set you back and you're just like, bro, like or it could even be before that, but I keep hearing June. So for some of you, it could be June, and it kind of set you back a little bit. But get into with your spirituality and get into with spirit, because spirit will strengthen you and make you realize like, okay, this was something I had to learn from. Now I know what not to do. Now I know how to like you know, be flexible. I can change up my plans, or so that this won't happen again, or I will have more discernment so this stuff doesn't happen again, or like something happening that makes like you feel like some changes need to be made, but spirit will be right there telling you like, okay, you know, it's all good, it's all good, giving you the messages to go on. So I think that's why spirituality is a major thing for you that you need to please make time for every single day, because you are so you're like this, you're moving, you're going, you're doing a whole bunch of stuff. You be on the go, okay? And spirit wants you to be still and listen. Like especially if there's something that you're like, okay, I really want to manifest this, and you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this, and then maybe you experience a setback. Spirit is saying, come back to me and listen to what I have to say, because you've been trying to do everything according to your own will, okay? All right, wow. So we got weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. And we also have inner earth, you'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings. Wow, okay. So yeah, this definitely goes along with literally what I was saying with something that could have happened that kind of set you back a little, and it made you doubt yourself, or kind of doubt that like whatever it is you've been trying to manifest, you've been pushing forward towards, it made you like kind of doubt that it could happen, because you had those setbacks where you're like, I mean, why did this happen? I thought we were pushing forward, but a new solution is coming. Kind of like with that other card, that the answers you need are coming, full moon in Gemini. So I do think like a new solution is coming, but this card also indicates changes that need to be made. There's some type of change that you need to be that needs to be made, or you need to take some type of new approach. Maybe you need to learn more or network with people more. Like, I think the universe just wants you to meet it, I guess, halfway. Because I think you've just been trying to do everything according to your own will, instead of being like, okay, spirit, what should I be doing right now? Because I done tried this, I done tried that, I was over here, I was doing this, you know what I mean? And yes, spirit wants you to come back. Okay, so we even have empathic, starseed, energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. So even how we have another card here talking about, you know, boundaries and stuff like that, I do think one of the changes that may need to be made during this time period is boundaries. You need to start having boundaries. Know when to be like, oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Know when, know when to say no. Know when to say no. And I'm not saying to just sit there and just not trust anybody and, I'm not saying to like not trust anybody and just do everything by yourself, because I already said, you need help. You need help. You need people to give you some knowledge, some guidance. It could be in a book. It could be on YouTube. It could be you going to see a therapist. It could be a pastor if you're into that. It could be anything, but you do need help. But what I'm trying to say is that you should like have discernment. Have discernment, okay? Know when things feel right and when things feel wrong. And I think that's why Spirit also, because I think I was kind of covering this already, like that's why Spirit is saying, hey, return to me, come back, because I'll tell you what's right and I'll tell you what's wrong. I'll tell you who's genuine and I'll tell you who's not. So yeah, Spirit is wanting you to return back, come back, okay? And then also to protect your energy, because I do think that there are some people that may try to use you in a certain sense, and I don't want to, I'm trying not to make it so that you're sitting here like, I'm not gonna trust nobody, you know what I mean? But that's why I say discernment, because there could be people that try to use you and not tell you or not show their true selves in a way. Or it could be people that like have a lower vibration and you're just such a high vibe person and they just try to leech onto you just for those high vibes, and then when it comes to your own problems, they don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's really important to just be mindful of who you have around you, but at the same time, don't not trust anybody. And that's where Spirit comes in to tell you like, okay, this person is right for you and this person is wrong for you. Okay? So we have, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. Wow. So this goes right along with what I was talking about with the like knowing who's for you and who's not for you. Okay. And that's why Spirit is wanting you to come back. Okay. Come back. Come back home, Spirit says. Listen to what I have to tell you. Your ancestors want you to listen to what they have to say. And I have an Aries moon, so I understand. We can be hard-headed. People with a lot of fire in their chart can be very, very hard-headed. We want to do our own thing. We don't want to listen. Not that you don't listen to nobody, but for the most part, no, we don't. So yeah, Spirit is wanting you to come back and listen and adhere to what Spirit is telling you. That's why I think I was even saying this last video for you guys, like pay attention to your dreams. Pay very, very close attention to your dreams, because your dreams are going to start telling you like who, if there are certain people that are jealous of you or not good for you, or tell you like what you're supposed to be doing, tell you what your path and purpose is, tell you what move you need to make next. You need to pay very, very close attention to your dreams. Write them down, okay? Write them down, or I don't know, do something that will help you remember your dreams, which the best is writing them down, or even like voice recording it. I think I'm gonna start doing that too, because sometimes it's hard to just write stuff down. So yeah, do something that will help you remember your dreams, okay? Okay, so we also have 10 of Swords. Wow. 10 of Swords reversed, and then 6 of Cups. Wow. I mean, come on. I can't make this stuff up, because this card has to do with betrayal. This card has to do with betrayal. But this Six of Cups, if you could see it, it's a person helping another person, a child helping another child. So Spirit, Spirit wants you to realize who is for you and who is not for you, okay? And when you experience betrayal, and I'm not saying this is something that's happening right in July, but I do think this is something that you've been dealing with maybe for the past 6 months, or maybe before that or something like that. But anyway, when you experience betrayal, it's because Spirit is like trying to show you, like, look, this person or these people do not need to be in your life, okay? They do not need to be in your life. We want some more helpful, high vibe people in your corner, okay? And that's what this Six of Cups is telling me right here. Like, people that are just good, people that want to bring you blessings, people that want to help you be your best self. This is what Spirit is trying to bring into your life, and I think you're going to start realizing that during July. Realizing, like, okay, wow, Spirit really is trying to bring people into my life that want to help me. So whatever betrayal that you've experienced, let that shit go, okay? Let that shit go. And I don't mean it in like a, oh, forget about everything that has happened to you, but let those things that have happened, let it be a learning experience. Let it be a learning experience that people that display those types of traits, I don't need to trust them. Or whenever my gut is telling me not to take an opportunity, don't take it. You know what I mean? So I think it's all about really getting back into it, Spirit, so that you can develop your intuition on like a higher level. Because I feel like you're intuitive, but it's like Spirit wants it to be on like the next level. Like Spirit wants you to communicate more with it. Your ancestors want you to communicate more, pray more, say affirmations more, read spiritual texts more, okay? Be still more. Okay, I was really supposed to make this reading short, but I feel like you guys really needed to hear the whole thing of what I just said. So, yeah, fire signs. That is your July 2020. I really hope this resonated with you. And if it did, make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you like and subscribe. And follow me on Instagram. Okay, and I will see you guys again soon in my next video, okay? Peace. Hello, my beautiful air signs, okay? And the air signs are Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini, as you, I'm sure, know that. And this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mercury in one of those signs. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and get into your reading about what is coming for you during July 2020. Okay, interesting. Okay. So, interesting. All right. So what's kind of standing out to me right now, because they came out like right next to each other, is Wheel of Fortune reversed. And we also have, I was going to say 3. I mean, 7 of Cups, okay? 7 of Cups upright. So with this kind of coming up right next to each other, I feel like the message here that I'm going to be getting from the rest of these cards is that I feel like you're being resistant to change. I feel like you're being resistant to change, or it's like Spirit is like clearly showing you what path to take, and maybe you're already on this path, kinda like you're kind of there, kinda, okay? But it's like you're not allowing yourself to fully immerse yourself in this change. Okay, so maybe it's like your spirit has been saying like, okay, you really need to change your diet, you really need to make changes with your career, maybe where you live at, maybe with like your exercise routine, maybe with certain relationships in your life, maybe with just some type of change. Spirit is clearly giving you the like, go ahead, like, okay, go this way, like, even I feel like even your body is telling you like what is not for you. It could just be just food, but I feel like sometimes with certain people, like your body will be like aching, or like you experience these certain things due to stress with a certain environment. Like some type of stress or whatever, it affects your body in this certain environment or this certain relationship, or the stress of one of these things has really affected your health. And maybe you're not like super unhealthy or anything, but maybe you feel like extra drained, maybe you feel depressed, maybe you feel like some type of way. You feel in some type of way, maybe even confused, maybe even like paralyzed, okay? You feel in some type of way. And I think Spirit is really pushing you towards a certain direction, but you're kind of like this guy right here with all the cups. Like all the cups. But it can also manifest for some of you guys that are like maybe single. Maybe if there's some of you guys that are watching this that are single, and maybe you like experienced a breakup. And I think I kind of talked about that. Like maybe there's stress from a certain relationship and Spirit is like, leave that shit alone. And then maybe you left this stuff alone. And Spirit is trying to let you know that you have options. Like you have options. Maybe this person you were dealing with, you liked them so much and you thought shit was gonna work out, but it didn't. And Spirit wants you to know, like, go with this change. You have options out there. There's options out there for you, but you need to not be resistant to this change, okay? I mean, and if you just broke up, with this person, I mean, you don't have to just go out there and just be like, oh, I'm ready, you know what I mean? But I think it could also indicate like there's something else, like there's other things you could be focused on besides the relationship if you have broken up, if there has been a breakup. There's other things that you can be focused on besides what was going on in that relationship, especially if it was stressing you out, okay? So yeah, any unfortunate events that you experienced in June, because like for some reason each reading I keep talking about like June. So I'm feeling like a lot of you guys may have experienced some like unsettling things in June. And I think this month you are being called to realize your options, not just with people, but with like knowing there's other things you could be focused on besides that relationship, okay? If it is a relationship thing, or like if it's a career thing, you left a job behind because you're like, I don't want to do this, or you're thinking about leaving your job behind. Spirit wants you to know that you do have options out there, okay? You do have options out there. And you know what I mean? If you feel like, I don't want to be working for people the rest of my life, yeah, there's options out there. And I feel like you've already started on some type of path. I feel like you started on something already and you're kind of like walking in that direction, but there's still a part of you that has not immersed yourself in this new direction. Okay? So, talked enough about that. Okay. So, wow, we got Messenger, serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. Then right next to it was the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. Air signs, okay, air signs. I feel like since the beginning of this dang year, okay, since the beginning of this year, you have been going through this like transformation type thing, but maybe at first it was on like a subtle level, so maybe you didn't realize these changes you were going through. But I think in July you're gonna be like seeing like, dang, I think I'm going through an awakening right now, because maybe you're gonna start seeing a whole bunch of numbers all the time, or like repeating synchronicities, repeating themes. Like maybe you'll hear something in your head, like spirit telling you something in your mind, then you see it on TV, then you see it on Instagram, and you're like, is this real right now? So I think yeah, like a lot of it has been going on the past like 6 months, but during July you're gonna be really feeling like, dang, wow, like look at where I was in at the beginning of the year, and look at where I am here like in July. You know what I mean? Maybe changes haven't been so big. Maybe there hasn't been like super big changes, but I think you're gonna start noticing the subtle change that happened over time. It could be like externally in your outer world, or you're gonna start realizing the changes that happen within you. Like maybe you realizing like you ain't taking certain shit no more from people. You ain't talking to yourself a certain type of way anymore. You're not you're just gonna realize the change that has happened within you, and then maybe that's why your external world will start changing, where you're like leaving behind a job, or you're not fooling with certain people anymore. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so subtle change has happened over time. But yeah, you're gonna really see how much you've changed in July. And I do think a lot of the things that you have gone through, maybe over the course of your life, it could be just this past year, but it could also be the course of your life, because I'm sure you've experienced a lot, but Spirit wants you to talk about it. You're the air signs. The air signs are I'm not saying y'all are the only writers of the Zodiac, but y'all are the communicators. Okay, y'all are meant to be the communicators of the Zodiac, the networkers, okay? So I do think like you have a message that could be shared with other people. So if you've been thinking about vlogging, blogging, podcasting, something like that, do it, okay? Do it, because you have a lot to say. You have a lot to say, and you're pretty funny. I'm sure you're funny. Like, air signs, y'all are always hilarious, so y'all are always hilarious and fun to talk to. So that's why I think this is giving me goosebumps. Okay, so I think that's why Spirit is really, really wanting you to talk more, like on a platform, okay? So we also have Star Bathing, Light Body, Crystal Grid, Transmission, Activation. And right next to it is I Remember, Soul Plan, Fated Life versus Destiny Life. So I was just saying this to the fire sign, so I wonder if you guys have fire in your chart as well. Because I was telling them, you need to get more in tune with your spirituality. You need to do more spiritual practices, maybe working with crystals, doing spiritual baths, doing crystal grids and stuff like that can help you with this new change, this new phase in your life, and will help to like bring up those soul memories, because I think that's why you've been experiencing all these subtle changes, because your soul remembers like, I ain't come here to do some of this shit that I've been doing. My soul knows that your soul knows you're supposed to be on a bigger platform, or because maybe you're someone that's already known, or you're just already doing what you want to do. But I feel like Spirit, like, your spirit knows that you're supposed to be on a higher platform. You're supposed to be doing more than what you're doing right now, okay? And yeah, and even if you are someone that's on a like higher platform, let's say you're on a high platform already, like you already have a bunch of followers, you already have like booming business or whatever the case may be, I still think there's more for you. I do think that there's still more out there for you. But Spirit wants you to listen. And I was kind of talking about this with the fire sign. Spirit wants you to listen to what else is a part of your plan, because maybe you've been like just running off of your own will, doing things like, I mean, I'm sure Spirit intervenes quite a few times, but you are, I think you are somewhat logical. You're somewhat like really logical, and it's like you've just been running off of logic, and Spirit is wanting you to pay attention to your intuition this month, especially Cancer season at the beginning of this month. Intuition is a big thing. Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer screams intuition. So I do think your intuition is something that you need to pay attention to this month. And we also have, it's time to release negativity. Wow. Wasn't I literally talking about this? Talking about how there's like change is trying to come and you're resisting it. You're like ducking and dodging. You're ducking and dodging, okay? And you need to fully immerse yourself in this new phase of your life. This new beginning that has, I feel like, already started for you. And yeah, you need to release the negativity and have faith in your dreams. Wow, have faith in your dreams. A personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. And wasn't I just talking about Cancer season? Oh shoot, sorry. It was just talking about Cancer season. Oh shoot. Okay, whatever, let me just get through this reading. My timer just messed up. But yeah, have faith in your dreams. And I do think with this personal issue that will reach a resolution or whatever. So if it was a breakup or a friendship or whatever that ended, or a job that's ended, or you want it to end or whatever, you having faith in your dreams will help you see the options that's out there, whether it's relationship wise, whether it's like what you need to be focused on. Like if you're not looking to get in another relationship, you'll realize like there's other things you need to focus on. You'll realize like, I want to do this certain thing and there are options out there for me. Or you want to change your health, have better health or something. You realize like, dang, I can eat some good food and still be healthy. Like maybe you'll find more recipes. I don't know. It can manifest in other ways, but I do feel like you're going to be pushing past those feelings of maybe feeling stuck or feeling like you don't know what to do, feeling like confused or whatever. You know what I mean? So we even got your commitment is being tested. Wow. And next to it is a fiery climax approaches. Full moon in Aries. Wow. Okay. So maybe some of you guys have Aries in your chart. Maybe you have someone with Aries around you. They're an Aries or have Aries in their chart that's around you. And I do think you'll be pushed. Like this Aries person will push you. This Aries person will push you to step out of your comfort zone. Or if you have Aries in your chart, it's you embracing that Aries energy to keep going, even though this other shit is going on. Like you're gonna be realizing like, okay, yes, this happened, but I'm gonna keep pushing forward. Or it could even be that like with these things that you're just feeling like you don't want to be in your life anymore. Like maybe you're wanting to leave a job or something like that. And you're just like, man, bump this. Or you want something better for yourself. I do think Spirit is, wanting you to have more faith that it's out there. It's out there for you. Like, that's really the theme of your July 2020. Like, you have options. You have options. If you want to get paid more, you can get paid more. If you want to have your business, you can do it. Like, options are out there. You just got to explore the options, okay? Explore the options. But with this fiery climax approaches card, I do think like something is coming to an end. And sometimes with this card, it can indicate something that happens between people, like maybe like an argument with people that made you feel like, okay, I need to get on out of here. So it could be argument in a relationship, argument at a job. We do have Mercury retrograde right now as I'm making this, so you know what I mean? But it really could just be that you are just fed up. You're fed up for working, or fed up with working for people, or fed up with your living situation, or fed up with your health. You're fed up with something. You're fed up with people and how they was acting. Like you're fed up with something, and now you're just like, I'm out of here. Okay, so something is coming to an end. So we also got take time to breathe out. So I do think meditation. Take time for meditation, because like I was saying to the fire sign group, Spirit is wanting you to come back home. And I think that's a theme. I wonder if that's really a theme for Cancer season. I wonder, because Cancer has to do with the home and stuff like that. So with this card coming up, and it coming up for the fire signs too, Spirit is wanting you to come back home and wanting you to like pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to what your intuition is like telling you as far as what to do, who to trust, what not to trust, what to put your focus on, what to take your focus off. You know what I mean? So Spirit is wanting you to come back home. Okay? Come back home. Do your spiritual practices, please. And also, do not be resistant to change. Go with the flow of the change that is trying to come, okay? Especially with this full moon and Scorpio card here. That card, or Scorpio itself, has to do with death. And I don't mean death like someone's dying. Oh, shoot. That was my alarm. But I don't mean like death as in someone's dying, but I do think like the old you is dying. Your old life is dying, okay? Your old life is dying, so it's just time to let that stuff go, okay? Don't be resistant to change. If Spirit is taking you on a new path, just trust it. I wonder if some of you guys have a Uranus transit going on, especially if you were born, I want to say around 1991. We'll say between 1991 and 1997-ish. You don't have to be experiencing this change, but if you are, there's some of you that may be experiencing a Uranus trine Uranus thing going on right now, where it's like Spirit is like, oh, change, go with the change. And it also brings a spiritual awakening where you have sudden revelations where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. So I think that's what that may be happening for you, okay? So, yeah, man. This was your reading, air signs. I really, really hope it resonated with you. And if it did, make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you like this video. And make sure you subscribe to my channel, okay? And hit me up on House Mystik if you would like to book a reading, all right? So have a great rest of the day, and I will see you again in one of my other videos. Hello, my beautiful water signs, okay? This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mercury in what is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mercury in Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, okay? And happy birthday to all the Cancers across the world, because it's your season right now, so happy birthday. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into your reading. I done already dropped a card, okay? Wow. Okay, so before I get into these other cards, let me just go ahead and talk about the tarot cards, because these are the two cards that just fell out. So I'm like, maybe Spirit wanted me to talk about this first. Okay, so we have Four of Cups, and then we have Five of Pentacles. So 4, 5, definitely making me think progress, okay? But with here, I feel like this month Spirit is going to be giving you what you want. Spirit is going to be giving you what you want. And there could be some of you guys maybe last month, because I kept saying this for all of the readings. I kept accidentally saying June. So I do think a lot of stuff from June is affecting what's going on in July. I mean, clearly. But with these two cards for you guys, I do think maybe there were some of you guys that maybe lost your job, or like in June. It could have been before that, but maybe there's a lot of you that have lost your job, or maybe you were unhappy with your job and you were like, I don't want to do this no more. So I'm wondering if you guys have air in your charts, because I was talking about the air signs with this same thing I'm saying right here. So yeah, it could be that you guys lost your job, or you just wasn't happy with your job and you're trying to find what will bring you true happiness. And the theme that keeps coming up for everybody is Spirit wants you to come back home. Okay, come back home. Because even with this this Five of Pentacles card, because if you could see the card, it's basically like a couple, and they're sick, they're like poor, okay, and they're passing by a church that's like, that has their window, like there's light coming out of their window or whatever. And with this card coming up for you guys, I do think there's some situation that could have occurred in June that you weren't happy with, or it could be just these past 6 months. You could have lost your job or some type of thing going on career wise, and Spirit wants you to trust in them again. Spirit wants you to come back home, come back to yourself, come back to your authentic self. That's what I'm hearing here, because it's funny because we have show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. So do some of you guys have Aquarius in your chart, or some type of air sign in your chart? Yeah, with this card coming up, because like, yeah, Spirit wants you to come back to you. Spirit wants you to be your true authentic self. And I think you've spent so much time living life like how everyone else wanted you to live it, and now it's time to live life how you want to live it, and stop doing what everybody else wants you to do. And I mean, not that you're just I wouldn't say you're just a people pleaser. I mean, you do like to please people, but that's not all your life is about. But I do think there's like certain like conditioning that you've grown up with. Yeah, that you've grown up with that kind of affect the decisions that you make. Because a lot of these like things, these principles, maybe that your parents or people that you were around, a lot of the ideas and beliefs that they have, you've like absorbed it, and it's like deeply embedded in your subconscious. But I do think, yeah, Spirit is wanting you to get back to you, get back to who you really are. And I think the best way to figure out who you really are and what you're really supposed to be doing is to get in tune with your spirituality. And I know I've said this for the other people too, but this message is coming for y'all too. Like, you need to get back into with your spirituality, especially if you're in a situation where you're feeling broke or drained, or feeling like you don't know what to do next. You're just not happy, but Spirit is wanting you to come back home, come back to yourself, realize who you are. And something I keep hearing is your birth chart, like learning more about your birth chart, because it'll tell you your potential. I do birth chart readings, by the way, shameless plug, but not for real. Get back or learn more about your birth chart, because it'll make you feel confident in who you are and why you're like into these certain things, and why you don't deserve to just be not happy in your career. Because I keep thinking career because we got this Five of Pentacles here. So if you're not happy with your career, I suggest looking at your birth chart, because it'll tell you the type of career that you should be in. okay? If you're not already on that path. But I do think some type of new opportunity is going to be coming for you in July, though. Especially with this Two of Cups here. Why I keep saying Two of Cups? Maybe that's something I'm supposed to talk about, relationships. Because with this Four of Cups, this Four of Cups is making me think that there will be some type of new opportunity that will be entering your life in July. Maybe it started in June, actually. Maybe for some of you guys it started in June. But I do think there is some type of opportunity that will be coming for you in July that will help you get rid of your financial struggles. Maybe you'll be getting a new job where you get paid more. Or it could even be that Spirit gives you some type of idea, some type of business idea that will make you a lot of money, okay? Will make you a lot of money, and you need to trust it. And I think that's why the show The World, The Real You came out, because whatever this business idea is that you have, it shows more of your authentic self, okay? It shows more of your authentic self, and I do think you should explore it. And we got You Are Good Enough, full moon in Virgo. So do some of you guys have Earth in your chart, or maybe specifically Virgo? Oh, I think I was talking about Aquarius. So maybe someone that has Virgo or Aquarius in your chart will be affecting your July, or you'll be spending a lot of time with someone who has Virgo in their chart in the month of July. And maybe they will be helping you with showing the world the real you. Maybe they'll be encouraging you. Maybe they'll be the person that gives you this opportunity, this Virgo or Aquarius. Or you have those signs in your chart, and maybe you're supposed to be exploring that side of yourself. Like, when I think Virgo and Aquarius, I definitely think spirituality. So some of you guys may be like spiritual leaders. You guys may be spiritual leaders, or it's not a day unless, or it's not a real day unless someone is interrupting me making a video. So anywho, what was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about the Aquarius and Virgo card here. So I was saying, maybe you have Virgo and Aquarius in your chart or something. But it's also giving me the vibes that, like, maybe this idea that Spirit is giving you is something having to do with spirituality, like sharing your spiritual messages on the internet. Or like writing more, like maybe a book, like maybe making an ebook. Or even like some type of creative thing that can, like, that you put on the internet, or that can be done on technology. Like maybe you make graphics, or you make I don't know, I keep saying or thinking graphics. Maybe you make graphics, maybe you make videos, maybe you make like some type of content. It could be some type of content, but so it could be like YouTube. It could even be like YouTube. It could be a blog, a vlog. I think I was talking about this with the air signs. So you probably do have air in your chart somewhere, possibly, or some aspects dealing with an air sign. Anyway, so yes, something with technology and creativity and spirituality. So yeah, it could be like YouTube videos, blog, vlog. Maybe like animation, graphics, something along those lines, okay? But I think those are the ideas that you have, or like an online business that you are having ideas about, okay? So I think that's what Spirit is wanting you to work on in July. If you're not so happy with your financial situation or your career, Spirit is giving you ideas along those lines of spirituality, like writing, something with speaking messages or something like that, and creativity. Okay. And also, some of you are probably like really good with your hands, so maybe like a painter, drawing or something. Anyway, let me stop spending time on that. But wow, we have another Aquarius card here. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. So do some of you guys have Aquarius in your chart? Also, with it being right next to adjustments are required, I think that the adjustment that needs to be, or that's required, is that you need to bring more love into the situation. Like maybe, you know, you've just been kind of just doing shit. Like you've just been like, oh, I'm gonna do this, oh, I'm gonna do that, but maybe your heart's not in it. Or it could even be that like this certain job that you're at or thing that you are doing, like maybe it's just not your true self. It's not your true authentic self. Like that's not who you are at your core, and you need to be doing something that you actually love. So yeah, so it's either that you are at a place where you just don't love, and spirit is like, hey, we need you to get into a career that you actually love and do things that you actually love. Or it could be that you've been working so hard, like maybe you're doing something already that you really love, but you've just been working so hard that you haven't been putting like your heart in it. Because we even have your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. So I definitely feel like, yeah, some of you guys have been working hard, like really working hard on something, but you haven't been putting your like love into it. You've just been looking at the work aspect of it instead of just like, you know, instead of pouring your soul into it. Or yeah, because even with this Capricorn card, it also says in the little book thing that comes with it, it says that yeah, some of you guys are not happy with your job. You're not happy with your job. Maybe you're not happy with your living situation. There's something that you're just like, I am over this shit right here. Okay? I'm over this shit. And yeah, so yeah, the hard work is paying off. Definitely makes me feel like whatever you put your energy into that actually shows your authentic self is what will pay off for you in the long run. That's what's going to bring you the financial success that you're looking for, because I think there's a lot of you that just like are working somewhere that you hate. You work somewhere that you hate, or you're living somewhere that you hate, and it's just time to get back into that heart space and actually be doing what you love, or being somewhere that you love, if that makes sense. Okay, so we also have confidence is the key to your success. Wow. So I do think Spirit is wanting you to work on your creative projects. If you've been like teeter-tottering about it, work on your creative projects, especially with this Leo card coming up. I wonder if some of you guys have Leo in your chart, maybe, or maybe you work with a Leo, or something, like you guys work on something together. But I do think creativity, Spirit is wanting you to get more in into your creativity. And you know, I was talking about doing more things from your heart, and Leo rules the heart. So I do think you are needing to do things from the heart more, like, and work in a career that is connected to something that you love, you know? So you're doing something that you hate, you need to just stop right now. You need to just stop right now. What else do I want to say about this card? I think I'll just move on to the next few cards, because I don't want to make this extra long. Okay, so these two cards, wow, or these three cards. Okay, so we got You Got the Love, Hadarian Energy, Codependency, Boundaries. And then we also have Karmic Relationships, Orion Energy, Polarity, Soul Growth, Conflict. And then we have The Great Severing, Mars Energy, Anger, Conflict, Softening to Love. So these all like sit right next to each other, like, because they all have things to do with each other. So for July, I do think if you experience any conflict in your relationships, water signs, it is for growth. It's for growth. Like if your partner, somebody says something to you, it's because, or not says something to you. I mean, like if they say something to you about like, oh, you be doing this, you be doing that, it's to help you grow. You don't have to look at it as like a, oh, like what? Why would you say that? And you know, don't look at it as that, especially with the softening to love. Yeah, I also think there's a need to compromise to see where the other person is coming from. This month, if you do experience any conflicts, or especially with this boundaries card, and I was talking about this with the fire sign, so I do think some of you guys have fire in your chart. So there also could be certain relationships where you're just like, you gotta kind of like step back from, because maybe they don't respect your boundaries, or they don't respect your boundaries. Or it could be that, not trying to call you out, this may not be all of you guys, but maybe you don't always respect other people's boundaries at the same time. So it could be either or, but I think for a lot of you guys, you will be realizing like certain people that do not respect your boundaries, and you having to be like, these are my boundaries, stop doing this. Stop doing this. Okay? Stop doing this. Or it could just be like the conflicts that you experience in certain relationships. It's just to help you grow. It's just to help you grow. And if you do happen to leave any relationships behind where you're just like, okay, I'm not dealing with this anymore, look at it as a lesson learned of like what you don't want. Okay? Alright, sorry. Started looking at these other cards. So we also have lost lands, soul memories, and gifts. You've done this before. So this goes back to what I was just talking about. Well, not just talking about, but the creativity. I do think you're being called to like step more into your creativity. Water signs, you guys are very, very creative. Okay, y'all usually have like a whole bunch of creative talents. Because you guys have like really vivid imaginations. So I do think that you're being called to just explore your creativity more. If you do have like certain ideas that kind of like keep coming to you, I think you need to explore those ideas. And then even for some of you guys that I think I was talking about, there are some of you guys that may not necessarily be happy with your like job or whatever. I think this month you're going to be having a lot of dreams or just like gut feelings telling you like, you know what, I must have done this in a past life, because why is it that I keep wanting to do this certain thing, or why do I keep feeling drawn to this line of work, or drawn to this area, or drawn to, like, you're just gonna just be having soul memories, especially you, Cancer, especially you, because this is your season right now. So I do think there's a lot of things that will be surfacing for you as far as like creativity, like maybe remembering certain creative gifts that you have, or maybe it could even be that certain creative gifts that you have, like maybe you didn't work on it for a long time and now you're feeling like, oh, let me get back on it. Let me get back on my, like if you do music or something, like music, your art, your drawing, well, that's art. Okay, but whatever creative talent that you have, you're gonna be like, okay, kind of drop the ball a little bit. Let me pick it back up. Okay? And was that all y'all's cards? Yeah. That's all y'all cards. Water sign. So if this reading resonated with you, make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you hit that like button. And make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And follow me on Instagram. And go to housemystik.com. And that's it. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello, 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 my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful earth signs, okay? This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mercury in the sign Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, okay? So let's go ahead and get into your reading. So let me get the cards together. Let's see what the cards are saying here. Wow, okay. So right off the bat, the two cards that's standing out to me because of some of the other cards I see here is, or are, Three of Wands reversed, but also 10 of Cups reversed as well. So I do think in July, I think you're going to be, well, with this 10 of Cups card, I'm feeling like you're going to want to be more focused on your, I would say your family, your relationships and stuff like that, but also just what truly makes you happy. Like if you're, and I kind of been saying this with the other people as well, but I do think that anything that like takes you away from like your happiness, you're letting go of. Like anything that makes you like stressed out or makes you spend less time with your family or makes you just feel just depressed or anything, I do think you're going to be stepping away from that. Whatever is just not good for your mental health. I keep hearing mental health. Okay, I keep hearing mental health. So I do think like anything that's like messing with your mental health, you're going to be like, nah, I'm not doing this. So it could be like a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a way of thinking, it could be your diet, it could be anything. It could be anything, but just anything that makes you feel like, okay, this is really affecting my peace of mind. You're going to be walking away from that. And then just anything that's not aligned with your goals, you're going to be walking away from that. And I also think you're going to find the true purpose in the work that you do. Like you're going to be like, yeah, just understanding the true purpose in the work that you do instead of just doing it, okay? Instead of just doing it. And also, I do feel like in July, maybe it will just be the beginning. I'm hoping it's just the beginning, but I feel like the beginning of the July, you might start off the month feeling a little like not so optimistic because of maybe some setbacks. And I said this with all the other groups as well. Well, not all of them. I think just, was it fire? I think fire. I was talking about that with like fire, I think. But anyway, so maybe some of you guys have fire in your chart, or I think it was fire and air. Yeah, I talked about that with them. So if you've experienced any setbacks that kind of like made you feel not so optimistic about your future, don't get too caught up in that. Don't get too caught up in that, and don't be so just pessimistic, because I know how us earth signs can be, okay? When we experience those setbacks, it's like it just hurts, okay? It just hurts, especially when we know that we've been making progress, and then it's like the 3 steps back, you're like, why, okay? But yeah, and then I also feel like, and I said this with the other groups as well, like you are also being guided to come back home, okay? And I think that's the theme of Cancer season for a lot of us, but it may like play out in different ways. But I do think Spirit is wanting you to come back home, and it could even just be actually like physically, okay? Physically, because you know, some people I was talking about, like, you know, them being their true authentic selves. And I think you guys, you like the earth signs, I think you guys have definitely been stepping more into your true authentic selves, because we even got the step out of your comfort zone card, but we'll get to that. But I do think a lot of you guys have been stepping into your true power. I definitely think that. But it's probably been taking away from family time. Okay, so I do think some of you guys will be realizing like, damn, I have not been focusing my energy on my family and my personal relationships and my home. Like, it's just been more so out there. Like, your focus has been definitely like out there, out like in the world, because we even have this step out of your comfort zone North Node card. So I do think a lot of you guys have been stepping into your purpose. You've been like, okay, I'm not playing victim anymore. I'm stepping into my power. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna take life into my own hands, I'm gonna make things happen. But it's kind of maybe taking you away from home life. And because we even have the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. I don't want to talk about this too much because I'll cover it when I get to it. But I do think there's some of you guys that have that North Node in Capricorn, because I know I do. And if you have a North Node in Capricorn, or maybe your midheaven is Capricorn or an Earth sign, or you just been in your your Earth energy, because like Capricorn is an Earth sign, but you've just been that Earth energy and you've just been working, doing, going, pushing. You're very close to achieving your goal, which I'll cover that too. But Spirit is wanting you to come back home, like physically come back home and work on your relationships, work on your family. Maybe it could even be it's time for you to move to your own home and create your own your own sacred space that makes you feel at home, that makes you feel more secure and stuff like that. But I definitely think there's like a real focus on your home life, because you've just been so focused on things that are outside of you, such as your career, okay, and your finances, and maybe your living situation. Or maybe not necessarily your living situation, but like needing the money to escape from a certain living situation. That could be just for some of you, like a select few of you. But I do think a lot of you guys have been so focused on work, and Spirit is like, okay, bring it back in. Let's reel it back in. Okay, so you're very close to achieving your goal. So I do think you are very close to achieving your goal, because you've just been pushing, you've been going so hard, Earth signs, okay? Y'all been going hard, y'all been working, y'all been like doing what y'all need to do. You've been really stepping into your power, so it's really pushing you towards your goals. So whatever you've just been working on these past 6 months, I keep hearing 6 months. You've been working on something for the past 6 months, and like in July, I mean, you probably are starting to see the results of your hard work. And it could even be with health. And you're starting to see the results of you working out so much. But whatever it is you've been like working on the past 6 months, you're going to start seeing the results in July. Like maybe you're starting to see the results. You're like, okay, I see it. But July, you're definitely going to be like, okay, wow, okay. I've really been putting in that work. Like, stuff is really, really working out for me. Like, it's really working out. So, yes. So, we also have communication is key. Oops. New moon in Gemini. So, some of you guys may be working with a Gemini in July. Partnering up with a Gemini. Maybe your partner, your actual partner is a Gemini, like your bae or something like that, or has Gemini like heavy in their chart, or air heavy in their chart. But with this card coming out, I do think, or maybe you have Gemini in your chart or air in your chart, but I do think that communication is key this month for you. Especially because I do feel like there's just certain things that you're not happy with. And you may need to tell people like, look, no, okay, no, or like, set boundaries, or you need to like, just tell people what you need. Tell people what you need, especially because we have what do you need to release. So maybe there's people you like, you know what I mean? You need to let them know what you need. Maybe you need more help because maybe you have been working so hard and you need someone else to help you with carrying the load. Or it could be, and you know, I'm also getting the vibe that, especially because we have this full moon in Capricorn, this full moon eclipse, I mean, in Capricorn. And we have the Capricorn, wow, full moon in Capricorn card came out. So I do feel like maybe there's some type of like way of thinking that you need to release when it like when this eclipse happens. Maybe you need to write some shit down and release it. But I'm just feeling like the way you talk and the way you think, it needs to be released. So maybe it could even be the way how you talk to people, like and that could be in different forms. Like maybe like if you happen to be a content creator and you're like looking for a new medium and you're like, okay, I want to do YouTube more, I want to do a blog more, or I want to put more on Instagram or on Twitter or on whatever the case may be. You're finding a new medium for that. Or it could be you writing down this shit that you need to release. Or it could be like how you like literally talk to people. Like maybe your words hurt sometimes. And I'm an earth sign, so I know we can be hard, you know. We can be really harsh with our words at times. So maybe it's like you need to soften up with your words. And not saying you can't say like how you truly feel, but maybe like you don't, you know, maybe don't need to be so cutting with certain words, or just how you do things. Like there needs to be a change, okay? Or maybe just communicating with people that you need boundaries, but I do think there will be more communication that needs to be had, maybe more conversations that need to be had in the month of July, okay? So, yes. We also have a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. So, some of you guys could have Venus energy in your chart, Libra energy in your chart. Maybe your partner has this in their chart, because with this card, it has to do with romance, okay? So maybe you do need to watch how you talk to your partner, or like how you talk to people, or even just how you think about people. Because it's maybe that you don't necessarily talk to people in a crazy way, but maybe it's like you think, I don't want to say lowly of people, but maybe there's a part of you that just doesn't trust people. Like you feel like you can't trust people to tell them like everything that you're thinking. Maybe you don't trust people enough to be like, look, I really need to confide in you about this, or even to just communicate with people like that, communicate with people about things that you don't like that they're doing. You know what I mean? But there's just that I think certain conversation needs to be had. But with this win-win outcome is forecast, I do think like if you have these honest conversations with people, or you work on your mindset and stuff like that, your relationships can improve. If you work on how you talk to people, and maybe how you think about people, and just even how you think about yourself, I think can really improve your relationships. Because if you don't completely love yourself and you're just always so hard on yourself, it'll show up in your relationships. Trust me, because if you don't trust yourself, if you don't trust yourself and feel like, oh, I can't trust myself to make the right decisions, you'll project that onto other people, like making you feel like you can't trust other people, and you don't know what they're thinking about you, you don't know what they're saying about you, you know what I mean? So I do think there's a need to like work on your mindsets and work on your communication skills, so that you're able to improve your relationships in a positive way. And even with like networking, maybe you need to network with people more, build more relationships with people. And I know it's a little hard right now with everything going on, but maybe through the internet it can manifest in different ways. But I do think building new relationships could be really, really helpful for you. And also this card can indicate that if you've just been working so hard on something like for the past 6 months, I don't know why I keep saying this past 6 months, but I do feel like there's some of you that have been working so hard the past 6 months, maybe just, you know, your whole life, because I mean, earth signs, that's just that's just y'all. But I just keep hearing 6 months. You've been working so hard on something since the beginning of this year, and if things have just been really like up and down and you're still questioning some things, just know that a win-win outcome is forecast, okay? You're on the right path. I definitely feel like you're on the right path because you've already been doing what you're supposed to do. You just got to keep going. You just got to keep going. So the next card we have here, the Golden Children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. So this is definitely making me think family. Definitely making me think family, because I think in July, you, like I was saying with other people, the need to like come back to themselves, and you earth signs, you've come back to yourselves, you've come back into your power, but now it's time to like come back to your home and your family and your relationships. You've just been like out there, you've been working, you've been doing, you've been pushing, and now it's time to focus on your family, especially if you have kids. You need to focus more on your kids. I think your kids are probably like super intelligent. They're super, super, super intelligent. And they are a big part of your purpose. I mean, of course they are, because they're your kids. But I think the fact that you work in the field that you work in, and you're so creative and business oriented, goal oriented, you're going to teach your kids to be the same way. And maybe you should just start instilling this stuff into them now and being like, you know, let me show you how to do this or do that, or like, you know, teaching them certain skills. Or it could be simple stuff like just teaching them how to read. You know what I mean? Just whatever phase you guys are in right now with their lives. But I do think your kids need your help right now. And then also your inner child. And this goes back to the self-love thing. I do think your inner child is needing your attention as well, because I do think there are certain things that happen in your childhood that like, sorry guys, the camera cut off on me. But anywho, fix my nose cuff real quick. But anywho, I was talking about your inner child needing your attention, because that goes back to the whole like self-love thing. Maybe just certain things that happened in your childhood that just made you not really love yourself, maybe made you like not trust people and stuff. So maybe you've like grown up kind of neglecting the childlike part of yourself. And maybe not even addressing some of the issues that you've had since childhood, like you don't really address it or whatever, and Spirit is really wanting you to look into that, like maybe work more on your sacral chakra, or do like inner child meditation, guided meditation, or whatever the case may be. But you should definitely work on your inner child, and also your sexuality. I do think like maybe there are certain things that happen in your past that kind of affect your sexuality. Maybe it's not that you're not a sexual person or anything, but maybe there's some parts of you that feel maybe a little ashamed when it comes to sex, or maybe a little guarded when it comes to sex, or like just maybe certain things that have happened within your sex life that kind of just have just made you feel a little weird about sex or something like that. It could be, I've said sex so many times. Hopefully they don't try to flag this video, but I mean, it could manifest in numerous ways, okay? How like, that's my child. But it can manifest in numerous ways. if you've experienced some negative things surrounding sex, okay? But yeah, and then also I feel like in July though, I do think you will be overcoming that too. Like maybe it will be the beginning of July where you're like, wow, my inner child is hurting. Okay, my inner child is hurting and there's some things I have not addressed. But I do think like middle towards the end of July, you're gonna be just shining, just glowing. Like people are gonna be like, sis or bro, you're glowing. Like you really look good. Like you look good. And it could be like what I was talking about earlier with the work that you've been doing for the past 6 months. So it could be that you've been working on yourself for the past 6 months, and maybe that's why the stuff kept coming up about relationship, like you working on yourself affecting your relationships. So I do think you will see the growth. You'll see more of your growth in July. But also if it's like your health, your health, and maybe that's something having to do with your childhood. Maybe you got bullied during your childhood because of maybe how you looked or whatever the case may be, your weight or something. And then you've been working on yourself and now you're looking at yourself like, wow, look at my hard work. And people are gonna be like, you looking good. Like, wow, you look so good. You're glowing, your hair, your skin, your aura. Like they're just gonna be realizing like how good you look. So yeah, that's something else to think about with July. So the last 3 cards here, we have all paths lead to home, inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. What was I talking about earlier? Starseed, cosmic ancestor, see the light by staying grounded. And we also have surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, joy, make love to life. So the cosmic ancestors see the light by staying grounded. That definitely makes me think family. Like you're being called to come back to your home, your roots, okay? You need to ground yourself by being around family. I mean, of course, the ones that make you feel good. I'm not saying to be around toxic family members, but there's a need to come back to home, come back to yourself. So maybe even your ancestors, there's a need to like get in touch with your ancestors and understand where they come from. Or like if you happen to be from like a different culture, maybe your family is not from America or whatever, you're being called to explore that. You're being called to explore your heritage. Maybe even you don't have to just be like, you know, African or Jamaican or whatever, but you're being called to explore your heritage no matter where you're from, because I think your ancestors, they did something that you're currently doing or you're currently interested in doing. Your ancestors used to do the same thing or like something along those lines. So I do think there's a need to contact them way more for guidance, for help, for protection, to help ground you and stuff. And yeah, because like your intuition, I think they want to speak to you. They want to give you more guidance, especially because you've been working so hard, earth signs. You've been working so hard, and spirit is like, okay. Dude, we need you to calm down. We need you to come back to earth. Well, I'm not saying that you're not on, like, you know, all head in the clouds, but I think part of you has been a little in the clouds, not in a like dazed out type of way, but you've just been focused on achieving goals, new heights, this, that, up here. You're up here, you know what I mean? But spirit wants you to come back down to earth and focus on like your physical body, focus on your home, your environment, you know what I mean? Focus more on that, okay? And get more in tune with your spirituality. I think that's like a theme for everybody. And then even with the surrender to sweetness, Venus energy, relationships, okay? And we had the full moon in Libra card, which is ruled by Venus. So yeah, I do think you're supposed to be focused way more on your relationships this month, and also self-care. So anything that affects your mental, physical, emotional health, get it out of here. Get it out of here. Okay? So you're just going to be focused on what's aligned with you, what's aligned with your goals, what's aligned with your brand, if you're someone that has a brand. you're getting aligned, you're getting back in order, okay? I think June, you're a little like working a little hard, just all over the place or whatever, and Spirit is wanting you to get back aligned, because I think you were overworking yourself because you weren't aligning yourself, okay? So take some vacations, okay? Take a break, spend time with your bae, spend time with your kids, spend time at the spa, spend time dolling yourself up or whatever, you know, spend more time doing that, okay, during the month of July, because Spirit wants you to do that. You deserve that. You've been doing too much for other people, okay? So get back into doing for yourself, all right? So that is your reading, Earth signs. I really hope it resonated with you. And if it did, make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you like this video and make sure you subscribe if you have not done that already, all right? So have a great rest of the month, and I will see you again soon. Peace.